Racial
Sing Chase.
glory. This might be the outtakes. I ain't gonna lie. His name. I'm singing. What?
All right.
Hater. just a
You
just a
gave me
hater.
permission to be a hater.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
You told me to be here. I'm so scared now.
All right, you ready?
No.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Are you ready? No. CeeCee, what's going on? So, if you can, tell us who you are, your major, and what you do.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Cicely Jervis. I'm an educator. I teach middle school. Shout out to the class of 2025.
Okay.
Love you guys down bad. Just recently graduated. I guess not really recent now. It's about to be 3 years now. Whew.
Okay.
Graduated from American University, Master's of Public Policy, School of Public Affairs. I've been doing music, talking about politics, teaching for years now.
Okay.
Music for background vocals for the last about 10, 12 years. I think it's 12 this year.
Go ahead and shout them out.
And then
Go ahead and shout them out. Soprano, go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to the Soprano section. Y'all know
coming.
what's up.
Yep.
Sorry to everybody else. We do love y'all though, but really, it's Sopranos. Also, shout out to I sing with Sean Tillery and Change. So shout out to Change, my Change family. Love y'all.
All right, bet. So my thing is this, right? Off rip, I don't want you to feel like this is NPR. This is not CNN, MSNBC, all the ABC, LMNP, all that. It's none of that, right? So
Okay.
just be real relaxed. This is us, right? So I think the biggest thing is, well, I met you, I guess it was what, last year? 2 years ago? 2 years ago.
It was last year.
Last year. Okay. Like beginning of last year, probably. Right. And so I always felt like, you were really like well versed in different things. And we had similarities as far as like musicianship, right? Faith in God, Christianity, the whole nine, and also like your education. So I feel like it was kind of best to have a perspective from a male and a female for next generation of how to like maneuver through that. So I'm happy to have you here, man. You're my dog. Yeah, New York stand up.
Come on, New York. Come on, Brooklyn.
I know Brooklyn. Let's go Knicks. There you go. That goes. You said what?
Giants, we working on y'all.
Giants, yeah, nah. Commanders, and we're gonna win. I'm gonna jinx it right now. I'm gonna jinx it. I hope I won't jinx it, but tomorrow night,
for you,
we should win. Commanders should win the game. Just a quick note: we did win, and we beat the Lions in the divisional round. Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, HTTC.
Tonight,
I'm gonna say it right now on the podcast.
Tonight, we're believers, so I decree and declare the Ravens will win on tonight.
Come on, decree. Alliteration is wild.
We believe God.
A fool. All right, so I know it's January 11th right now, and I'll probably put it out there later on, right? But 11 days into the new year. So I guess recapping from 2024, from when I first met you to now, I guess like what goals were met, if you're kind of recapping that, and like how'd you get to the journey you're at right now?
Yeah, sure. I actually did not make any goals for 2024.
Okay.
We were in a space mentally, we've been through a lot of grief and trauma. Not trauma, but we've been through a lot of grief. And I just was like, God, I just want to make it to 2024. And he did that. Thank you, Lord. And also I just did more goals maybe than I probably would have like imagined. Like there were so many things that I did in the last year by his grace, that I didn't even expect. So I actually did not make any last year. We made a ton this year, but last year we didn't make any going into the new year.
Okay. And that's my thing is feeding back off of that. Like, I love that because I feel like for me, like that wasn't really my plan I guess in years prior. And I think, even now being 11 days into the new year, it's probably been the best start. You know what I mean? It's like, do you think that like things changed for you in that last year for you, like, and not having a plan, or just how was that for you? Because for me, I feel like a great relief and not being so tied into, of course, the school, of course, the music, everything
Mhm.
else. Like, how's it been for you in that last year?
Um, it was kind of freeing. I'm a
Yeah,
type A girly, like to the T, perfectionist to the T.
yeah,
So for once in my life, I was like, I don't care. God, go ahead.
yeah.
And he just like blew my mind. So
Mhm.
it was actually kind of nice to just kind of be like, okay, God, like I'm gonna sit in the passenger seat and I'm
Right,
gonna obey and I'm gonna
right.
do whatever you tell me to do. So that was really freeing within itself, and it taught me that as humans, we love to like take control of things, and God is like, hey, can you let go so I could do what I got to do.
Yeah,
And that was like one of the lessons that I learned last year. Like let him have the wheel of the car. Not You can't be in the passenger seat trying to maneuver.
it's
You have
tough,
to
CC.
you
It's
got to
tough.
have hands up. You
It's
got to let it
tough.
go.
It's tough. Yeah, I yeah.
Anyways,
It
it's
really is tough.
it's a work
It
in progress.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm still praying about that, to be transparent on this right
Mhm.
now. Like, I'm still, kind of say, even though it's been a great start, it's not afraid, not scared, but just hesitant on like
Yeah.
maybe it might fall off, something like that. But it's just like it's been a great, like you said, relief, been great, like stress off my back to not have to
Mhm.
worry about things like that. So, I guess like I said earlier, you're well versed, right? So you got politics, you got
Yes.
Sopranos, you got
Music.
literally music, right? Everything Sopranos. Singing Soprano. You ain't
Shout
Tony
out to the
Soprano.
Sopranos.
Hey, you ain't the HBO type. That's wild work. But you know what I'm saying? All that stuff, right? So how'd you get about you know, being so like well versed in those areas, and like how did you get to how you are now? Working in the schools, doing school music on the side. How'd you get there?
Shout out to my mom,
Okay.
lovely mom. Since I was a kid, she had us in everything. I was every season, every sport. I was swimming, gymnastics, lacrosse,
Mhm.
golf, tennis. I did it all. Dance, drama, like we did it all.
Come on.
So naturally, I learned how to be really creative by doing those outlets as a kid,
Mhm.
and naturally, I just became really good at them. The Lord just decided He was going to let me be really good at a lot of things,
Yeah.
and that never stopped for me. So that's why I have so many interests and so many things that I want to do in my life because like of my foundation.
Mhm, mhm.
So shout out to Mama Dukes, love
Hey
you.
man, that's I feel the same way. Come on, my Dukes. Yeah, my mom
Yeah.
and my parents too. Cause my dad, plays music. My mom was a
Mhm.
counselor, director of counseling for 10 years, and so following that trend as well too. That was not my plan at all.
Mm.
Right? I think it was a point in my senior year of high school. I was like, okay, is it music or is it sports or is it
Mhm.
going? Where am I going? You know what I'm saying? I feel like now being an educator, but coach basketball in the past and doing music on the side, like it feels good to not be like stretched thin. Did you ever feel it that way ever? Did you ever feel like you were had to choose? Because that was the
Mm.
pressure for me. Like senior year, I was like, yo, I gotta do something. I'm majoring in music. I'm majoring in something else other than music, right?
Yeah.
Like, what'd you feel with that?
I think I really didn't feel stretched thin until
Mhm.
like after college. So
Okay.
I'll start with how I got into education. So I
Mhm.
didn't want to be a teacher.
Yeah,
I
that's
come from
real.
a line of teachers. My mom is a college professor. My grandmother was like really good at teaching me when I was little. I didn't want to be a teacher.
Okay.
I It's funny enough because when I was a kid, I used to like play with all the toys and like line them up and be like, "I'm teaching y'all," like mommy does at work. And I didn't know that was like a manifestation of what I would do in the future. But I didn't want to do teaching at first. I actually wanted to like study political science, like every other girly.
I
I was
see it.
like, I want to do poli sci.
I
I
can
want
see
to
it.
be a lawyer.
I see it.
In fifth grade, I wanted to be. I knew what I wanted to be. I said,
Oh, in fifth grade. My bad. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Fifth grade,
my
you ready?
fifth grade. I
I
was
never
10
knew
years
that.
old. So
Oh
my
wow.
aunt, rest in peace, she was a lawyer, and we were learning about in fifth grade like constitutional law,
Mhm.
and I was like the only like excited 10-year-old to learn about like con law. We went to the prosecutor's office, and I was like answering all the questions, and
Yeah.
the guy was like, the prosecutor was like, whoa, like I've never met a 10-year-old who's like very excited about this.
Mhm.
And from then on, I was like, yep, I'm gonna be a lawyer. And
Oh
that was
wow.
it.
Wow.
So then when it came time senior year, my mom, I was like, all right, mom, I'm gonna study poli sci. And she was like, girl, no. I was like, And I was like, what do you mean no? And she was like, my mom reads a lot, listens to NPR. Shout out to NPR.
NPR.
And she did her research, and she was just like, you would be a well-versed lawyer if you did something different. And I was like, I was a little hurt by it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, music. And she was like, no.
Really?
And I was like, okay. She was like, I really want you to like have something that you can rely on. Especially, Caribbean parents, they really want you to like, they came to America, they want you to be able to thrive on your own and like have a good paying job and etc. And I was like, okay, all right, I don't know what else. So we were just talking about it. I was like, okay, mom, like, what else am I gonna do? Because I don't know. And she was like, well, I was a camp counselor for like 2 years during the summer, and that was fun.
That gets you. That's what gets you. Yeah.
I did like working with the elementary school kids, but I was just like, I don't want to teach elementary. And she's like, there's a middle school, there's a high school. Like, you don't have to teach elementary.
Yeah.
And then she was like, you really do love social studies. Like, look at all your grades. Like, your teachers are always like, you are the most well versed in your class. Like, you read like history books, like front cover, back cover. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, and you really do like to tell everybody what you've learned. And I was like, ooh.
To this day.
to this day.
To this day.
To this day. To this day.
Like, that's what I learned today.
Yeah.
So then from there, I was like, okay, like, I'll do it. Also, like, you want to go to college, you just want to go away from home. It was when I graduated college, it was a unique time in history. So, graduated high school, excuse me. So I was like ready to go.
Yeah, I feel that.
To an HBCU. Shout out to Oakwood University.
Okay. No, they
Um,
don't, but it's okay. No shade. I don't know Oakwood. I don't know. That's what's up, though.
That's your homework assignment.
I need to look up. See, here go teaching me now.
Teacher things. That's your homework assignment.
No, that's what's up, though.
Sixes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's like
come on, man.
Like, we know who they all are.
Yeah, that's a staple. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you got some homework to do. That's your homework assignment.
I got you.
But from then I was like, all right, I guess we're doing teaching. Went to Oakwood, got there, and I was kind of like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
For a very for the first maybe like 2-3 weeks, and then I had a professor, and then she just started like talking about like all the additional like cool things you would do with kids, and I was like, oh, this is kind of fun.
Wow.
So I really started to enjoy it, and I think what solidified it for me was like when I would do like our student teaching, like we had to do series of student teachings and stuff, and when I got to the classroom, met my teacher, met those kids, built quick relations. Like, I would only be there for a week, and I built like quick relationship with those kids, and it was fun to like teach them. I was like, oh yeah, okay, God, I see what you're doing. And funny enough, I was in technically two different departments because I studied social science education.
Got it. Okay.
I was like in the education department, but also in the history department. Shout out to Professor Foster, who's one of my mentors to this day. Everybody was talking about him. They're like, oh, you got to take his class. He does this and this. And I was just like jealous because I kept looking at my program and I was like, I don't take this guy's class. Like,
right.
How can I? And I just randomly was like, I've heard so much about you. I just want to have a meeting with you. And he was like, yeah, sure. Sat down, kind of like told him my background. And I was like, the biggest thing for me, my junior year, was learning what charter schools were like and the pipeline from school to prison pipeline, excuse me. And that was like a big thing for me. And I was like, how do we break this?
Right,
you are the policy teacher. Like, how do we break this? And then he was like, your intricate details to like knowing all these things and suggestions, like, why don't you take my policy class? And I was like, yeah, I just have extra time. Might as well. I took his policy course, and then I was like, wait, I can blend these two together. Like, I can blend my education thing and the policy thing together and like actually make change. Right. Oh yeah, you guys got
That's the thing I was going to touch on too. I feel like there's been a lot of paths, right? Like blends that we don't know. Even when you were in 5th grade, like I never knew that story about you trying to be a lawyer, but then also having the little like stuff in order to like be a classroom sense too. And then that even that carrying on with your mentors and different paths of things you've done all the way to like college, where you have that still blending of things of history in the classroom and taking initiative with the professor as well too. I never thought that was possible until college, like you said, right? I always like, I don't know, I was so black and white I never had like any gray moments. And so I wish that like obviously you don't regret anything, right? Obviously, things I've done, like the path I'm on right now, I'll talk about that later as well too. The path that that I'm on, that God put me on, it's my path, and I'm appreciative of it. It could be something totally left field, right? Something totally different. But I feel like that blending makes it unique to you, right? And so, I don't know, like even I feel like you in the classroom, I mean, in counseling or whatever, right? Like we're the typical teachers or typical counselors in our field. You feel what I'm saying? Like I
Yeah.
get that all the time. Like, yo, I mean, they might call me like old, like, oh yeah, you almost 30, you almost there. Like whatever, bro. But same time, the respect is like doesn't need to be said. Like you already feel it. You know what I mean? And with the next question I have for you, I guess with this, right? Like I know you're deeply rooted in church, deeply rooted in the gospel scene. You shouted out your boy Sean Tillery. The album was crazy. Loved it. You know what I mean? Christmas jump was like that.
He was. Please go
Come
stream
on,
it still.
you stream that album. Yeah, it was like that. It was like that. So how would you say? Touched on a little bit as well too, but how would you say God played a part in your journey of being a blended individual, professional, X, Y, and Z?
Really good question. God really, really showed me like what He wanted me to do at a young age. I just was not trying to listen.
Yeah.
Like I started singing in a choir when I was about 5 years old in church choir. And our choir director, Sister Griffiths, back in it, rest in peace. She like saw like something in me, and I just was like, okay, girl, why you keep giving me solos in church?
Come on.
I was just like, okay, this lady wants me to sing a solo. I'm gonna just sing the solo because she told me to sing it. And I did, and then I just kept like singing in church. And then I got to college, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna sing anymore.
Wow.
Now, Oakwood University, for those that don't know, is a very much a school that is known for music. So I was like,
Take six. Yeah, come
I'm
on.
not gonna sing, everybody. Like, and all my friends were like,
why?
Like, you can have your little moment, but you auditioning for everything. And I was just like, okay.
That push, yeah.
So shout out to them. I did audition, and that really like helped my craft. I left home from New York singing alto.
Wait, what? Time out. No, are you serious?
Yes. So church choir, like, you need voices in other sections.
Yeah, you feel it when you get in.
Our youth choir director was like, I need you to move to alto. And I was like, okay, cool. Word. So I was really team alto for a hot minute.
Wow.
And then I got
I'm sorry, but that's shocking to me. You're so team soprano. And so like now okay.
I know, because if you ask me to sing alto now, I'd be like, hold on, I gotta retrain my brain.
Right.
But she made me sing alto, and I was like, okay, cool. Then I got to Oakwood. I auditioned for Dynamic Praise, which is one of the choirs on the campus, and I just checked off, alto, soprano. So, I'm chilling, and one of my friends came into our dorm room at the time, and she was like, congratulations, you got into the choir. And I was like, what? Okay. So I looked at my phone, and I'm looking at the alto section. And I'm like, girl, I don't see my name. And she was like, soprano section. And I said, excuse me?
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So I was like, okay, the soprano section. Okay, I don't know, God, what you're doing. But so I quickly learned. God graciously allowed me to learn quickly. I got it really quickly. And then since then, I've been singing soprano.
Wow.
Ever since. Because I was Oakwood, I got to sing a lot behind a lot of artists. Got to learn the craft of being a background vocalist, and then God just kind of segued it for me. And then I got into Sean Tillery and Change, and that's where I'm at right now.
Keep it going. Yeah, that's great. To your point, I feel like God's really molded you and molded this whole journey for you, and we take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes I do, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like music was always my thing, but I won't even say from birth. Like You know, I don't think I've ever shared this publicly before, but I'll share it right now. I don't care. You know, I had clubfoot when I was born with the clubfoot, and so I had surgery when I was 3 years old. And my dad, being the musician he is and playing bass, my mom singing in the choir, and you know what I'm saying, they had that surgery for me, and my dad was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do PT, but also we're gonna buy him a drum set." You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna play drums, so you're a right foot with the kick pedal. And I think I got it for Christmas. And then that Christmas day, I broke it the same day. You know what I'm saying? I got it. I was playing it all day long. You know what I'm saying? Just out here, just big head bees, just playing that joint, going crazy. Yeah. So like that kind of created that, and I feel like that's just to your point earlier with talking about your year last year to, you know, your life journey to my life journey, right? With even music, or even like I said, being a school counselor, like that was never in my my position at all, right? Even being like tell my mom, I think probably like years ago, like in high school, I was like, "Yo, why do you want to go back to school to college to work at a school after you're done, like lifelong schoolwork?" You know what I'm saying? But now here I am behind the desk doing the same exact thing, or in the hallways, high five. You know what I'm saying? Doing the same exact thing and loving it, bro, and loving it. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like the message of all of that is just like let God do His thing. And I'm learning, like I said earlier, I'm learning a lot this year already. It's only been half of the month of 2025. You know, but I definitely wanted to have your say on that too. And you know, God doesn't make mistakes either. You know what I'm saying? Any trial you have too, like it's always gonna be perfect. I ain't trying to get preachy out this jump, you know what I mean? That wasn't my intention on this podcast, but here we are. You feel me? So well, any last things you want to say? How about this? I got one thing for you. If you can say one message to those out there from your podcast, right? This is the end of your podcast episode. If you can say one message to those out there listening to you, could be people under you, people above you, as far as age, peers, whatever, the whole nine. What would you say?
Just one?
Oh, whatever you want to say. One message.
Okay. It might have to be more than one.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
To my students, I kind of said this already, but read. Love you to death. Please read. Yeah. Like reading is actually like a lot of fun. Critically think, like learn, like keep using those skills that we're learning in class. Those will take you so far in the world. These little kids, my kids are going to change the world, and I'm really excited to like be able to watch them do that. So
no, I hear you.
I'm really going to be excited to see them like change the world in their own timing. So that would be what I say to my kids. To the creative that is like looking to do more things in 2025, or is like trying to figure out where to go, I just say like God is the ultimate creator. So like look to Him when you feel like you don't have anything.
Message.
I know, right? Sometimes the Lord just speaks.
Yeah, that was
Lord just speaks. To other like people who are in policy, I need y'all to rest. I love you to death. I need y'all to rest because the next 4 years are going to be very crucial, and even onward. So it's important that's like, you know, you balance like being aware of what's going on and also like taking time to rest. The fight's not over, and like everybody needs to participate in this fight. So like, yeah. So everybody like go do your homework, go read, like get off that Instagram, get off that TikTok, like literally like go sit down and read. Because there's a lot of important information that you need to know in books about what's going on. And you're right.
Knowledge is power, the whole nine.
Yes, knowledge is power.
It's a fact. CeeCee, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate you. You were great. I'll edit up from there. Thumbnail. Look at me. This dog. Okay. Oh, wait. That was good.